What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room. So this is what we get now. So clearly you do see the title of the broadcast. And listen, look, um, I was, as a native of Mississippi, and I was born and raised there and stuff like that. And Mississippi has always gotten a negative trope and stuff like that for a lot of years and stuff like that. And I get why, because Mississippi all has been lacking on a lot of stuff, slow on education, slow to get a lot of things and stuff like that. And I can't deny that. It can't be denied. It is the truth and things like that. But it seems to be at a turning point here. And it seems that, under this particular regime that we have here, it seems like that Governor Tate Reeves may have changed some things and stuff like that. And also have our children, trying to get to a much more better reading level out here. And this is where we at here. So we're going to check this out because apparently, Mississippi children collectively together have, upgraded the status of the reading level of our children to the 6th best in the nation.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
And this is not being talked about here, and this is not being, presented. And because I haven't seen anybody else talking about stuff like that. And I get it, Mississippi always been, it's Mississippi. Everybody from Mississippi's ignorant. Everybody from Mississippi's dumb. Everybody from Mississippi's trash. Everybody from Mississippi has no morals or no guidelines when we're the part of the Bible Belt, stuff like that. So, Mississippi's always been trash, for the outlook of the rest of the world. So we're going to go here now. We're going to check some things out. So quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
My surprise when even the New York Times wrote something positive about the Mississippi Miracle. 2012 and 2013, we went through the process of implementing significant conservative reforms. At that time, our high school graduation rate was 72%. Last year, it was 90%. Mississippi's 4th grade reading results were 49th best in the country. Last week, we announced that we're 9th. Our 4th grade math results, we were 50th in the country. Last week, we announced that we were 16th. And the point is, conservative reforms work for everybody. And here's proof. In 2013, 4th grade reading results for our African American students, when compared to their peers in the other 49 states, were 45th best. Last year, our black 4th graders scored 3rd best in the country.
Oh!
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Shout out, baby. Hold on. I got to go big screen on you dumbasses out here. This is crazy. Shout out to all my Mississippi children out there. You know what I'm saying? Third, baby. Mississippi coming up. It is what it is. I know you people ain't gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? Because we supposed to still be slaves. We supposed to be still getting pulled over by racist cops. We're still supposed to be, getting lynched out here. We're still supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? Man, stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. I'm proud of my home state. I'm proud of my home state, man. For real though. You know what I'm saying? Coming up, and the children are, actually getting redirected in the state and stuff like that. Man, Jesus, yeah. I'm proud of the state of Mississippi, for real though. I'm proud to see this is turning a turning point, and it's becoming a new day. I'm proud of Mississippi, real talk. Shout out to Mississippi, for real though.
Amongst Hispanic students, last year, our Hispanic students scored better than every other state in the nation. We were number 1 in the nation because we believe very, very much that between kindergarten
and
4th grade, students need to be learning to read. But once they leave the 4th grade, they better not be learning to read anymore. They better be reading to learn. And I can go back and tell you some of the things that we did We instituted more options for kids. We now have public charter schools. We now have ESAs for students with special needs. We also instituted the third grade reading gate, where we say if you can't read at a certain level when you get to the third grade, then you're not going to be passed on to the fourth grade. There is no such thing as social promotion anymore in the state of Mississippi.
Oh, that's that DEI shit. That's that DEI shit. Tate Reeves say he ain't going. You know what I'm saying? If necessary, we're going to keep these children in a proper level of life and make sure that at the end of the day, if necessary, we got to give them extra care and extra instruction to get them up to the place that they ought to be.
So what the French toast is going to think about?
Oh, but Tate Reeves is racist, though. Oh, he's racist. He's racist. When in this interview, the first dynamic he talked about was black children, but he's racist, though. Oh, yeah, he's highly racist. He trying to put black people in trees. Yeah, okay. All right, then. Cool.
Mississippi, you have to actually read at a certain level to get promoted. But we didn't just say that. We actually then went out and spent $15 million a year hiring reading coaches. Those reading coaches went into the schools and they not only helped the students that needed some additional help, they also helped teach the teachers how to be better reading teachers. Did the same thing with math teachers. In the last couple of years, I followed that up with career coaches. They're helping those kids that aren't going to go on to college make sure that they understand the skills that they need to go into the workforce immediately after graduating high school. To me, 49th wasn't good enough in 2013, and 9th isn't good enough today. We're not going to stop until we can get to first and we can maintain it for long periods of time. We've seen just a tremendous amount of positive publicity about the Mississippi Miracle, and it's real, and it's something that a lot of Mississippians are taking a lot of pride in.
Yo, listen, look. Hold on. I got to get a clear picture of Governor Tate Reeves. Listen, look, man. Listen, look. Mississippi, for the longest in this nation, has been looked down upon. We've been, you know what I'm saying? And you know, like I said, I'm from Mississippi. So, you know, yeah, you know, it's been looked down upon, you know, and it did have its own issues for the longest because of the lack of proper leadership and things like that. You know, in each state in this, it definitely nowadays, and we can look at it. I don't care what nobody say. Each state has its tropes with their leadership. You can look at California, New York, Chicago. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, Florida works a certain type of way. Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas. You know what I'm saying? If you have it's shown to be proven, if you have the proper leadership and the people that are in leadership actually give a fuck about its constituents and care about the children in that state, the state can change. Things can change. And these are facts. You know, and I'm glad to see this for the babies of Mississippi to, you know what I'm saying, come to this point to where they're, you know, they put in the proper tools to give those children in Mississippi the ways to actually learn and figure out a way to these children could come, you know what I'm saying, from Mississippi to be known as a slum trash place. And we all know that y'all done talk shit about Mississippi for the longest in this country. And it just is what it is. But our children in Mississippi are trying to do better due to the information and due to the tools that the leadership is trying to put in place to make all Mississippi children better.
So what the French toast is
black, white, whatever culture, it don't matter. Yes, this is, man, this is wild right here. Man, shout out to Tate Reeves for seeing a better, productive situation for the children in Mississippi. Man, ooh-wee. This is good right here. I'm ready for the comments. I'm ready for the fucking comments. I'm ready for people to sit there and say, well, Mississippi's still trash. Y'all don't have this and y'all don't have that. And they don't have that and they don't have I'm ready for people to start talking trash about Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Well, Mississippi's trying to change. trying to change. So you're gonna put down Mississippi for trying to change, especially the future of this of the state of their children in Mississippi and things like that. And that's going to be a very productive situation. And shout out to Tate Reeves. I understand why he's doing this. He's trying to get these children together for the future of what, you know what I'm saying, the industries and stuff like that he's negotiated to try to bring down here with jobs and stuff like that. Yeah, man. Yeah. So we're going to keep going because, yes, it is what it is here. So we're going to go to Fox and check this out because they're talking about it too as well. Let's go here now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
The former Democratic mayor of Chicago, Rahm Emanuel, says his party has lost touch on education, urging Democrats to focus more on literacy rates and less on pronouns and bathrooms. So what needs to change? Many are pointing to the Mississippi Miracle as a North Star. Fourth grade students in the state were able to dramatically increase literacy scores over the last decade, jumping from a ranking of 50th to tied for 6th. Enriched Literacy Education co-founder Mary Cantwell joins us now. So great to see you this morning, Mary. So that's an astonishing jump for Mississippi. How did they do it?
Sure. Charlie, thanks for having me back to talk about this all-important topic. One word, Charlie, phonics.
And explain what that is.
Probably the way you and I learned to read. It's the teacher stood in front of the board, pointed to letter A, we said A, pointed to B, we said B. Sound, letter, correspondence. Then we started blending CBC words. It's a part-to-whole, multi-sensory approach. It's intentional, it's structured, it's multi-sensory, it's organized. It is actual direct instruction. Most children need this in order to learn to read.
Right.
And I don't want to go down a rabbit hole here, but it's hard.
These are just the facts here. These are just the facts. Whether we like this or not, they're trying to implement all this super age, complicated ass stuff, trying to reinvent the wheel, basically, of how children been learning for all this time since we invented the school system and trying to implement, things like that. Yes, you sound your letters out, things like that. It just is what it is. All this trying to upgrade because our technology has changed. And this is the mindset. And I think this is what this is because, we have the technology to, do certain things, stuff like that. But our children still learn the same way. Sometimes just the basic way, the simple way that has been working for so long, maybe it still works. All this trying to change the dynamics and stuff like that is screwing up a lot of shit in our culture. And that's the issue. Let's keep going.
To do that with a mask on, by the way.
Indeed. Children need
maybe
to
even
see,
impossible.
I would say next to impossible.
Right.
Children need to see the teacher's mouth, lips, tongue, how to make the sounds of every letter of the alphabet. We have 26 letters in our alphabet that make 44 sounds.
Right. So if it's that simple and that straightforward, why isn't everybody just doing that?
Great question. Unfortunately, I would say around 20 to 25 years ago, our country got away from teaching phonics. There was a theory that it's not very exciting and maybe we should just give children access to lots of different text. Well-intentioned, I want to believe, but if they cannot decode words, they have no word attack strategies. Once they start reading books with no pictures and they come across multisyllabic, unfamiliar words, they have no idea where to start. So that's more of a balanced literacy approach. And it just doesn't work, Charlie. Children need direct instruction, skill building, word attack strategies, decoding skills.
Right. And it also to go off topic here for a hot second. That's the reason why fathers are definitely needed in the home and stuff like that. Fathers give the direct instructions and things like that. And mothers give the emotions and take care of the emotional side of humans. We're all humans. We all have the emotion and this and that, but definitely for boys and also girls, the direct instructions need to be had too. And so they're figuring this out with the situation here as far as teaching these children here in Mississippi. And I think this is going to be a roadmap back to what was actually going on when we were teaching children so long back in the day in these schools and stuff that made children into decent adults, that made them successful, to nowadays, they're trying to give these children all these new age fangled ways to learn and stuff like that, and it just hadn't been working. So just like Virginia, put in place that 50-50 law, and all of a sudden the marriage rates, the divorce rates plummet. Mississippi is putting in these facts right here that, if we go back to actual brass tacks of how to teach children, they will learn and they will excel.
So what the French toast is ever think about?
Real talk. Real talk.
Basically comes down to discipline. Are you going to do the discipline in the classroom?
Yes.
To teach kids?
But as children learn and they become confident and they see they actually can read, believe it or not, a lot of those disciplinary issues go away.
No, I don't mean discipline like that. I mean discipline like it. You just have to have a disciplined approach to teaching the phonics.
Indeed. And leadership is important.
Yeah. And one of the things I was most interested in this Mississippi Miracle is among low-income children, they are now ranked first in the nation. Among black students, they are now number 3 in the nation. Among Hispanic kids, they're number 1 in the nation.
Incredible.
All of those from Mississippi.
Incredible. And it's phonics, high expectations, helping empower children.
Hey, to all my black people out there, excuse me, I'm mumbling and shit. Yeah, we got to help get that rate up. We got to help get that rate up. Definitely, us as black people, stuff like that. We are the, our ancestors were the backbone, are the backbone of this nation and stuff like that. And we got to get our children's rates up a little bit more. I get it. We're at 3rd. That's way better than, what we were. But yeah, we got to get that up. We got to get that up. But I'm also proud of the children that have been putting in the work. Our African-American children that have been putting in the work to get to that stage right there. But we got to keep going. We got to keep pushing. We got to keep doing more.
Giving them the tools they need to learn to read and helping them see they can do it. And teachers can do this too.
What is the resistance to going back to phonics?
I think it's twofold. I think a lot of districts don't have the leadership. They don't have the vision. They sort of, unfortunately, it has been a bit politicized, right? Where it's like, well, conservative states maybe use phonics and more liberal states use this whole language approach, which is totally wrong. This is a bipartisan issue. This is about children and how they learn best. So that's a piece of it. And I also think, unfortunately, we do not have the educational leadership for the heads of all of these districts to say, this is what we're using. We have schools, Charlie, changing their reading approaches every couple of years.
Right.
I mean, there are scores of bookshelves with unopened materials, unused manuals. It's ridiculous.
And it turns out the answer is usually simpler than
Indeed.
Than it is. Mary Cantwell, doing the Lord's work, as always. Thank you so much.
Listen, look, and I definitely agree with that. Sometimes the answer is more simple than what we think. Sometimes the solution is more simple than what we think. In today's society, we are overcomplicating a lot of shit. Your marriages, relationships, our children's well-being in this country, stuff like that. We're overcomplicating a lot of stuff. And this is where we at though. But, shout out to Mississippi. For implementing a tool that can get those young people back on track as far as learning how to read properly and stuff like that. And they're climbing the ladder, you know, regardless of what ethnic demographic they're from, you know, Latin, whatever, black, you know, whatever, white, whatever, you know what I'm saying, other ethnic groups, you know what I'm saying. I'm glad to see this, because for so long Mississippi has been the butt of the joke of the fucking country.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
And I think by this situation happening, the generations that are going to come are going to change the aspect and the mindset about what Mississippi is really about, due to decent leadership and stuff like that, that actually want to see the children make it. I'm glad that, man, listen, look, this is good. This is good. I don't care who don't like it, none of that shit. This is good. I'm glad to see the children of Mississippi, you know what I'm saying, changing the stigma that Mississippi has nothing but ignorant people and trash ass mindsets. You know what I'm saying? Listen, look, but it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line. Shout out to Mississippi. Real talk. Yeah.
And that, my friends, is the bottom line.
Oh, wrong one.
So what the French toast is there to think about?